tears, if you will. This last couple weeks, 4-hit game in New York. On base 5 times in game 1 of the 4-game series earlier the middle of last week against the Cubs. But 3 home runs in this homestand?
2 on the homestand, but had a couple on the last road trip.
Road trip, that's right.
He's gone deep twice in his last 3 and 3 times in his last 6 games. Two and 2. Reynolds is 5 for 16. That's a .313 batting average in his career against Anderson. Runs the count full. Anderson was a 12-game winner in 2017 with the Brewers. Miguel Andujar is on deck to make his Pirates debut. Military Monday, so you see the Pirates wearing the military-style trimmings. Three balls, 2 strikes, the count on Reynolds. His 26th home run in Sunday's game against the Cubs.
Oh, no.
What do we have here? What's the matter? No
Robbie,
problem. There you go.
There we go.
All you have to do is cry a little bit. They'll give it to you.
You think that was his brother?
Yeah, that's it.
I think it was his brother. Yeah.
And now the brother, if it is, it does kind of look like. But
I got a ball in my hand. Where's Robbie at? I got a ball in my
Robbie.
hand. There we go.
Robbie on the scene. Look out, Reds dugout.
Coming in hot. Well, people were laughing. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Here it is again. Dad gives it to this.
No.
Oh, I can't believe Dad did that to me. That's my ball.
Yeah, that's a lose-lose right there.
Hard shot, but Indy out there in shallow right. 2 outs. Here is Miguel Andujar. Point Park University posts. As Neil said, that 2018 season, well, his debut, June 28, 2017, he drove in 4 runs, broke the Yankees record for RBIs in a major league debut. And then finished second to Shohei Ohtani the following year, his rookie season. He was hitting some impressive batting practice home runs, and talking to him before the game, he's never been here to PNC Park, but he absolutely loves the ballpark. Thrilled to be with the Pirates, and drives this one foul.
Yeah,
Somebody makes a nice catch there.
I really enjoyed watching him play in New York, and the one thing that I really liked, he'd take some swings, and sometimes he would do like the Fred McGriff helicopter over his bat over his head, whether he missed it or hit it. He's a lot of fun to watch. And now, obviously, he had the labrum surgery in 19, so that he may have put the helicopter swing out of it. But his bat to ball skills, particularly that year, were really impressive.
3 months ago, he requested a trade, and Brian Cashman said, if it would work for us, but we're not just going to go out and trade him just to trade him, because they still found and believed he was a valuable asset for the team. But when Zach Britton came off the injured list the other day, they had to make room for Britton, the pitcher, and it became a numbers crunch. And so Andujar was designated for assignment, and the Pirates pick him up. And surprise move today, Neil, I thought, was Michael Chavis DFA'd along with outfielder Greg Allen.
Yeah, and we saw Chavis, have a really pretty good run here, especially early on in the season.
Strikeout of Andujar, 1-0 Reds.
Made a couple promotions last week from AA to AAA, and two guys have not missed a beat. And they are the subject of tonight's Eden Park performances that made us smile. We're talking about Quinn Priester and also Endy Rodriguez. Now, Rodriguez has 8 hits, 2 doubles, and a triple, along with 7 RBIs in 5 games at AAA. Multiple hits in 3 of the 5 that he's played. Now, unfortunately, the last game he played, he left with a hip issue, and he's played at 3 levels this season. Rodriguez has. He batted .302 in 88 games in Greensboro, .356 in 31 games in Altoona, and is off to a .444 start in his 5 games in Indianapolis. And Quinn Priester, at the highest level of the minors, 5 shutout innings against St. Paul. Priester was the Pirates' first-round pick in 2019 out of Chicago in high school. So certainly encouraging as we look at the final week of the AAA baseball season to see those guys performing well, and hopefully they're able to finish strong, and hopefully Endy Rodriguez is able to get into a game. And one last thing, Greg and Neil, I understand the assignment. I got to go get a baseball and make that other kid happy, right?
Well, you could make yourself a friend, yeah. And to make us all happy if you did that, Robbie. And then, of course,
I am on my way.
Just leave a whole bucket down there.
Yeah, and Neil was asking for some ice cream, but other than that.
Wait, I didn't know Steve Blass came back.
By the way, we're going to talk to Quinn Priester and Endy Rodriguez as a teammate at AA Altoona. Henry Davis, Pirates' number one pick in the nation last year, coming up next inning. Well, you wonder, had Rodriguez not gotten hurt, Neil, if the Pirates weren't going to give him a shot up here.
Yeah, it would have made sense, just to get his feet wet a little bit up here, let him catch a couple guys, let him get a few at-bats.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Aquino. It's fouled away. David Bell's club. Different looking team than what we saw earlier in the year. Foul ball. A lot of trades, a lot of changes.
No Votto, no Mustafa.
Yeah, Votto's hurt. Saw a couple weeks ago they released Colin Moran, by the way. Moran spent some of the year at the big league level. High drive shows off that power. Aquino, wow, way up there.
Above the World Series suite down that field line.
Ooh. Strike him out! Come on! TJ Friedel. Strike 3 call.
Contreras gets that slider pulled, and he says, all right, you know what, I'm going to try to spot this fastball in the inner half. And he does.
HN Supermo look. Yeah, it's good to see a smile. Fly ball to center. Reynolds is over. Good work, good quick work there for Roansy Contreras. 1-0 Reds. In the bottom half of the second, Pirate fans always know that it's always more fun in groups when you come to the ballpark, whether it's clients, colleagues, sports teams, schools, and of course, family and friends. Pirates group tickets offer a wide variety of seating and price options to fit any group need. Plan ahead. Place your 2023 group deposit today at pirates.com/groups. Sawinski hitting cleanup. Rips this to right. Short hops the wall. Aquino's got a very strong arm. And safe, barely. Man, Aquino made that close. Double for Sawinski.
Yes, you were right. Aquino does have a good arm. We're going to take a look at it. Cincinnati bench. A little cutter that doesn't do a whole lot. Right into Sawinski's barrel. And as we've seen, he loves hitting the ball toward that Clemente wall. This one didn't quite get up enough to get directly off it. And as a hitter, especially a lefty in this ballpark, you hit one out there, you know you got to get moving because a lot of times it'll bounce right back to that right fielder just like it did. Safe.
Now Hayes. He's got a dozen assists. The Reds have 35 assists from their outfielders to lead the major leagues. Aristides Aquino hit it close. Leadoff double. Now Hayes led off yesterday's 5th inning with a double, and the Pirates couldn't move him. And that was a big moment in the game. The fact that Hayes led off that inning with a 2-base hit. They were down 3-0 to Adrian Sampson and the Cubs. And the next 3 hitters could not move him from second base. So he wants to show his teammates how it's done.
Yeah, and that's an interesting conversation in today's world of baseball too, especially some of these organizations that really value not giving up outs, right? Not giving up any sort of outs with bunting, all of that. So you see a little less and less of it in today's day and age, where guy will get a leadoff hit, and particularly righties that are up next. Maybe early in the count they'll take a shot at moving the runner, but you know there's times you watch guys hit and you're like, wow, he's not even really trying to hit the ball the other way to get the runner in. So, you know, the clearly we talk about it a lot. Sometimes the baseball philosophy, offensive philosophy in today's day and age is a little bit different, but you know, certainly game situations will dictate the importance of moving that runner. And as you mentioned yesterday, that was a pretty big moment, being down only a few runs to try to get that guy to third, and they weren't quite able to do it. So,
and Neil, you know, for a team like the Pirates, they have to move run. Yeah. Brian Hayes knows it. He was in the situation himself at second base yesterday. He just had a very unproductive out just now. Yeah. Not moving that man from second.
Well, and like I said, we talked about it, especially Saturday's game that the Pirates won. They had 4 stolen bases. They had guys in scoring position all night. They took advantage of some opportunities and not others. But that's the name of the game. It's about giving your team and yourselves as many opportunities a night on the offensive side of things, and scoring those runners when you get the chances. You see a good changeup right here from Chase Anderson. But you know, for me going into next year, the biggest thing, and the one thing that I thought was so important, 1-2 hole or 6, 7, 8. You know, those two are very different entities in Major League Baseball, right? And you know, knowing who's hitting behind you, knowing who's hot, all those things combined. But you're absolutely right. As this offense and these young players start to evolve, situations like moving runners and getting runners in from third and shortening up to try to just put the ball in play in certain situations is so integral to not only individual development but team development too.
I mean, there are teams that don't have to worry about that. Let's face it, they're home run hitting teams that go lead off double. Heck with this, we'll hit it. But the Pirates can't be like that. They're not going to be. They're never going to be like that. So they have to move a guy after a leadoff double.
And a great example of that, Greg. Get in there.
To right. And just at the edge of the warning track. We'll talk to Henry Davis, and we'll continue that conversation in a bit. The Pirates trail 1-0 after 2. Here in Pittsburgh and in Louisville, Kentucky is the Pirates' #1 pick, the #1 pick in the nation last year, catcher Henry Davis, who had an outstanding season at AA. Altuni's getting ready to go to the Arizona Fall League. Henry, thanks for some time. Tell us about your year.
It was unique. Spent a little more time on the IL than I would have wanted to, but a lot of good lessons learned, a lot of new teammates that I'm going to have great relationships with for a long time. So a lot of positives.
Oh, that's great. And, you know, and as you continue to grow, I think the one thing you've probably noticed at the professional level is just that everyday grind, right? And especially for a catcher as you are, you know, you have so much on your plate, right? You're dealing with the offensive stuff, you're dealing with the defensive stuff, you're dealing with the pitchers. So, you know, maybe you can dive us into some things that you really enjoyed or that maybe were challenges for you from an everyday standpoint, being a professional catcher and coming from, the college ball?
I mean, I really love the responsibility of calling and managing the game. That was something that, in college you get little tastes of, but it was really the first time that it was a big responsibility for me, and I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of good mentors this year. I was really fortunate to get to work with Jason Kendall a lot, which was super special, and just tried to take little bits from him and learn as much as I could, and just apply that to who I am in any way I could.
Henry, you seem to be a guy that's, one of my favorite stats is RBIs. Love the guys that drive in runs. And, 50 ribbies basically, 49, in 67 games. That OPS we just showed of 889. Tell us about the transition of going to a higher level and then having to battle those injuries and that challenge.
Yeah, well, I didn't know I was hurt while I was playing. I think I was playing with a broken wrist for about 4 weeks.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. I mean, as a catcher, you're going to work through stuff, and I'm thankful for the mental challenges that had. But, definitely take a lot of pride in winning baseball. I actually heard a little bit of what you were talking about with, putting the ball in play, moving guys over, getting guys in, having team at bats, and that's definitely something I pride myself in. The goal every day, especially as a catcher, is get a win. That's the only stat that really matters. So focusing on how I can contribute to that in any way, definitely a piece of that is driving in runs.
Well, explain to me, Henry, you guys had you've seen so many good prospects, and you've played with probably a few guys that have ended up in the big leagues, if I'm not mistaken. How is the response, in that locker room at that AA level, especially in today's day and age where you see more guys not necessarily having to go to AAA? Are guys very aware that they're playing well at AA or I guess the opportunity is not that far away, yourself included, but across the board, are guys very aware of what's going on and what may be in front of them in the near future?
Right, definitely, and I think it's something we all embrace and you don't shy away from. It's all of our goals is, even though we're all enjoying being where our feet are in Altoona or Indianapolis or any of the other affiliates, the goal is to move up and to contribute to wins in Pittsburgh. So it's something you embrace, and yeah, it's been really special to watch some guys get moved up and reach their goal of getting to Pittsburgh and start working on the new goal of winning in Pittsburgh. So yeah, it's been pretty awesome and special to see for those guys.
Is it hard to be patient when you know how close you are, Henry? Are you a patient guy in general?
Absolutely not. I'm not patient.
I didn't think so. So I mean, you must be, when you watch these games, so you have an opportunity now to watch the Pirates, and you must be thinking, okay, in short time, I'm going to be helping this team win ball games. Yeah,
that's the plan. It's a goal. I think about it every day, and myself and everybody else in the organization works towards that. Every day I go to practice or go work out, go hit, what I'm eating, how I'm sleeping. Myself and everybody else is focused on that next step and winning in Pittsburgh.
And you obviously, we mentioned you getting the opportunity to go to the Arizona Fall League. I think you'll see that this is a really fun environment. You get every Sundays off. At least that's the way it used to be. It's a very light environment, but the competition is really, really good, as I'm sure you're probably aware. So I think you're going to enjoy what you're seeing, what you're going to get into, and the at-bats there are important, certainly.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm thrilled for the opportunity, and I'm going to get to work with some other guys who unfortunately missed some time this year. And I think we all are taking it as a great opportunity. We missed at bats. Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. Go get them in. Go get your work in every day. Like you said, it might be a might be a less competitive environment for some, but I think we're all going to take it really seriously because every player in that group is looking forward to being on the team in Pittsburgh next year.
By the way, we're seeing a Pittsburgh native, TJ Friedel, a no-doubter over the Clemente wall to give the Reds a 2-0 lead. You saw a very frustrated Roansy Contreras after he gave up the home run. I think that one cleared the seats. And so for Friedel, that is his second home run this season here at PNC Park. And some family and friends are on hand. Born in Swickley, grew up early days in Moon Township. His dad moved out to the San Francisco area with family. And so Friedel hits that home run here to give the Reds this 2-0 lead. We're with Henry Davis. Henry, when you watch, and you don't have to say what you would have done, but when you watch something like this, in your mind, are you thinking about when guys come to the plate, how you would direct a pitcher?
Yeah, and I think that's the fun part of baseball. And you know, every time I'm watching, there are a million little details I'm focused on. And Roansy's really good and really fun to watch. So I'd look forward to working with him in the future.
Can you stick around with us for another half inning?
Yeah.
All right, great. Henry Davis, Pirates and baseball's #1 pick last year. Reds lead 2-0. TJ Friedel spots someone.
Cute little girl.
Yeah, that's great. Zach Collins going to lead off for the Pirates. Down 2 now, thanks to the Friedel homer. Collins, Jose Godoy, and O'Neill Cruz on the line with us. Kind enough to stay an extra half inning. Henry Davis. By the way, happy birthday, Henry. 23, I guess, a few days ago. Anything special on your birthday?
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it was a really great day.
All right.
What do you got for us? What do you, any what family, friends, presents? What do you got? Teammates?
Louisville football game. What do you got? Something, right?
Well, yeah, I went to the Louisville game. My girlfriend was dancing at it, and she actually she did a whole day for me where we went on like a picnic in a park, and she kind of made 17 of my different favorite food items.
Hey, there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Great, yeah.
That's a good day right there. Well, now, Henry, I'm curious to know if, going into next year, going into spring training, are there any checklist items that you're looking to, work on in the off season, or, you planning on getting down to spring training early and really trying to work with some of the pitchers as much as you can? I'm sure we'll see you in big league camp. Maybe you could dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, I'll actually be at Pirate City the second the fall league and whatever I play after is done. I think that, I'll be there immediately, and I'll be there with, I'm sure, other guys, and the goal is definitely to make the big league club, and I'm going to work hard towards that every day and just kind of improve every aspect of my game and try and put myself in a position where people in charge of those decisions think I can help the Pirates win.
Henry, you mentioned in the top half of the inning about former Pirate catcher Jason Kendall working with you. We saw Kendall earlier this year here, I guess, as the Pirates had talked to him. John Baker, who's in charge of the minor leagues, has a relationship with him and talked to him, I guess, about going around the minors and helping with some of the catchers. And you mentioned about how special that was. Is there anything in particular that you and Kendall talked about that would be interesting to us? That again, you two struck up a great relationship. What was it in particular about what you two got involved with?
It's really his experience. The Pirates have a phenomenal organization with coaches that can help us learn more about our bodies, how we're working, catching coaches that can tell us what positions we can be in to give the pitcher a better advantage for strikes, and hitting coaches that can tell us what drills we need. And, every coach around can really contribute to you winning. But I think Jason's fifth or sixth all time in
first in Pirates history and in top 5 in Major League history.
Yeah, and there's no alternative to that. I mean, experience is experience, and that's something that, I aspire to do what he did. Catch a lot of games in Pittsburgh and be regarded as somebody who leads the staff well and cares about the pitchers, and helps win a lot of games in Pittsburgh. So, picking up little bits and pieces and just, really listening 10 times as much as I spoke, and just hearing him talk. And, when it's time for me to ask a question, he would always answer it, and just talking about the little things he went through. And, like rosters have a lot of turnover. And one time we talked about how to handle a pitcher that you've caught for the first time. And, most of the time I catch pitchers in the bullpen or have talked to them before. I said, what's it like when you've caught a guy that maybe you just traded for that day, or just got there that day and you never talked to before? And he tells me the story about, I forget where they were, but I think he grounded out to end the inning and they had traded for the guy that day. So he ran back in, missed all the warm-up pitches, and just runs just runs out to the mound. And right. And that's an experience that I might have. And now that experience, along with all the other ones that we've talked about, I have a little edge. Where I heard Jason Kendall, who's been through all of those, talk me through that, go out and ask him what his best pitch is, tell him you're going to get him through the inning, ask him how he wants to attack the first guy and run back. And it's like, man, I'm super thankful for it. It's something, like I said, you can't replace, and there's no alternative for it. So it's been really special for me and all the other catchers that we've had to have him around.
What a great story. That's
great.
Really neat. Thanks for sharing that. And now Cruz was going to bunt, so why not? Check swing single for O'Neill Cruz.
He has like a 118 out, and then that's it.
Well, I can tell you, Henry, everybody is super excited to watch you as we see O'Neill Cruz. He's laughing. Look, he's laughing when he gets out.
I think he now has the hardest hit single in the Pirates this year and the softest. That was 39.9 miles an hour.
But, everybody, is, especially the Pirates faithful, they're watching you. Everybody knew how close you were from the amount of people that I ran into this year that came to see you play in Altoona, obviously only a couple hours away from Pittsburgh. It was a lot of them. So there's people watching you closely. They're excited about your development and some of the other guys down there. So we wish you the best of luck, and we look forward to seeing you in the near term.
Well, that's for sure. And Henry, before we say goodbye, just one more thing I have to ask, because I know people are going to, about being hit by pitches. That's something you share with Jason Kendall. 177 times in his Pirates career, an all-time Pirates record, he was plunked. So is it just one of those things?
I'm not really sure. It was definitely a first in pro ball, because in college I didn't get hit too frequently. But it's something that there are very few places on your body that are going to result in being hurt for too long, and the wrist was one of them. So that was unfortunate. But other than that, it's free base. it's a balance where, like, again, Jason's somebody who's helped me there and taught me how to, keep the parts that you need to protect protected, and if they want to give you a free base, take the free base.
Henry, thanks a million. As Neil said, a lot of people are following your career, and best of luck in the Fall League. We'll be watching. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We're back. First pitch, ball 1 to Kyle Farmer. Juancy Contreras falls behind 2-0. Sacrifice fly in the first for Farmer. Hitting third, the DH. Again, our thanks to Henry Davis. And while we were chatting with Henry toward the end, don't know if you saw, this is really going to please the manager. This is a routine pop-up to left.
Yep.
And O'Neill Cruz is sprinting around the bases as if that ball were in the gap.
Yep. It may seem unimportant to most, but I can tell you that those are the small things that are extremely important, particularly to a building team.
So there's one away. O'Neill Cruz got that check swing single, and then the next batter, Reynolds, with 2 outs, hits that pop up to left, and he was again sprinting around the bases, and that man would be proud of that.
Well,
Roberto.
jacket.
Yeah, I'll say. Spencer Steer takes a ball, and again, our thanks to Henry Davis. We didn't have time to bring up the fact that he mentioned Kendall, former first-round pick of the Pirates, catcher. He himself, first-round pick catcher. He's talking to a former Pirate first-round pick, drafted as a catcher, and you were chatting with him about getting to the big leagues and what that is like, and you have an experience, I'm sure, when you got to the big leagues, and you got a chance to meet Jason Kendall, didn't you?
First and foremost, like you said, thanks to Henry Davis, and I was one of the first people. I was at the draft and got to talk to him, be one of the first people to talk to him, so that was really cool. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to share the story about when I was drafted and I came down to PNC Park to sign my contract, and I walk into the clubhouse and I was a huge Jason Kendall fan. I obviously caught at the time, and I go into the clubby's office, and there's a little couch in there, and he's sitting in there, and my eyes just got big. Jason Kendall.
Jason Kendall.
And I come in, and the clubby says, "Hey, come here, meet Jason." Hey, Jason, big fan, thank you. And he says, "You're the new guy that just got drafted?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Congratulations, save your money, kid. This game's hard." And of course he was.
That's great.
Of course he was partially kidding. But,
oh yeah, but that's Kendall for you too, though. Kind of a little high throw, but got it done. Yeah, I mean, just good keep you grounded. That's all. 1, 2, 3 for Rwansi.
The winds are blowing. It's 2-0 Reds as we hit the bottom half of inning number 4. I made my way into the stands. Greg and Neil, what did you tell me to do earlier? Besides get ice cream, I had to do what?
Make things right with the family.
We know how it is.
Baseball.
Listen, I grew up with 2 older brothers, so the amount of times that I got noogies and all that, I know what that kid was feeling.
So you know what this was like. Wesley and William, is that right? You're Wesley? All right. What happened there? Why did you take that first ball and make your brother cry?
Because that gave it to me and I wanted to take it from him, and I like Brian Reynolds better than he does.
You like Brian Reynolds better than he does. it.